Hi everybody, it's Steve Olson. It is June 4th, 2016, and I wanted to start out this video today with the request of my subscribers and of the people that watch this channel to help me in a grand experiment. I think we're wasting an opportunity if we don't try to collect data from all the people that live around the world that watch this channel. So in today's video, what I'd like to propose is a first stage experiment. We all know that chemtrails are really blocking the view of, and we're seeing chemtrails in various times and dates. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to do an experiment with with all the subscribers and all the people that listen to basically go to look up in your skies any given day and just tell me a couple of things. Tell me where you live. Tell me what time it is during the day and what direction you're pointing. And whenever you see the chemtrails in the sky, just take a note and then send me an email at olson.steven.d@gmail.com. And I'll just give you a little hint as to what I'm looking for right now. So right now in my skies, Libra is getting plastered, okay, today. And this, as it comes up right now here at 18:01, this is real time, and this is my horizon here, okay? So I'm looking at the southeast, and we're getting plastered over here, and then we're also getting plastered to the northwest. Let's see, northwest. And so the two constellations that are getting plastered right now, as I would look at this on my map, is Draco and in this case, Libra. The other suspect that we have here is Sagittarius. This goes all the way back to Gil Brazard's assertion that it's coming from Sagittarius. So let's pay attention to Sagittarius too, people in the southern hemisphere. But for right now, if you want me to do all the data collection and analysis, we'll pull it together at WSO. All you have to do is know where chemtrails are in your sky, in the direction, which direction they're in, the time of day, and where you're about located. Like, you can say Australia. You don't have to tell me where in Australia, for example. Okay? So let's try this experiment together, guys. Let's collect this data. And then what I hope to do is, by showing where the chemtrails are predominantly happening in terms of which constellation they tend to be in, I hope that we can find a pattern that will help us to focus on the right portions of the sky in terms of looking for the objects. Now, here's what I will tell you before I let this map go. Recently, the sun has been riding with Orion. And I noticed that a lot of the recent phenomenon, especially the multicolored planet that I'm going to show you here in a minute, when I was corroborating some other stuff, but it was coming from the direction of Orion. So I already know right now something's happened in Orion. But again, the chemtrailing in my area is definitely Draco and Libra right now, in terms of the direction of the sky, and I can't wait to see what you come up with in your area. I'll map it all out, and we'll see if we can make some sense out of this and find out what they're hiding. Thanks. Here's an interesting all Skycam data. This is from Florida today, and basically what we're seeing is it's a triple, quadruple lens flare, Steve, in multiple color bands. And even though you've never seen a green one and a blue one before, you've always seen red ones. It's okay, man. Don't worry about it. It's all because of atmospheric anomalies or these weird red orbs that seem to appear all around in the sky, and all the chemtrailing that seems to happen in the south and east right now, almost like they're trying to block something in the south and the east. Oh gosh, yeah, this is all really normal stuff. So a little while ago, this gal named Deborah Silva, who had knowledge of the various planets through people that she did research and so forth, and did an artist's rendition of one of the planets. Is it Italia? I don't know. But the point is I want to corroborate. This is what people have said. There's one of the planets look like in the system. This is a reflection that somebody got from the sun, which is strange in itself, just to get one round orb reflection on your house from the sunshine. This is also what we saw, the same kind of color configuration as the orb that we saw in Australia just a few weeks ago, and it's also the same color as the thing that we saw in my backyard the other day, okay? So the thing that stayed stationary in my sky is the sun scooted above it. And yeah, I cleaned my camera. God dang, man. Can you tell that the trolls are getting to me a little bit today? I was just reading the New York Times a couple of days ago, and it was talking about this Ukrainian journalist that had gotten professional trolls after her for a period of years and tried to destroy her reputation and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just saying to myself, it's like I know that we're over the target. So why otherwise? Why would they invest so much trolling, so much negative activity, so much debunking, so much vitriol? Because they do know it's coming, and they don't want us to have credibility. And God forbid if one of us should actually, ask for a donation or something to keep a ministry or a lab or whatever going, because they know that if anybody got resources to do anything, that they'd be able to prove it easily. Oh man, I just hate how they try to keep us all poor and sad and ignorant. I just have a really bad attitude about that today. Lest we forget that just normal celestial events in our solar system, like the closest that Mars and Earth approach each other. This photograph was achieved with just a kind of an amateur setup, and this is Mars and its moon Phobos. And the reason I wanted to point out this really excellent photograph is because, first of all, it's a treat to see Mars so close to the Earth, and how I just always found that stuff amazing. But number two, it's like, here is a guy that just sets up a camera knowing where Mars is, even though it's very hard to see with the naked eye on some nights because of the clouds, haze, whatever. He's able to set up just a very neat little experiment with a tripod and a camera and so forth, and just capture Mars at such an amazing level of detail for just an amateur, right? And so large in the sky as it's so close. I just wanted to appreciate our own solar system stuff today, but I just can't avoid it. It looks like we have a red rain, a rain that caused a blood-like appearance in the water in the Yucatan in Mexico on 5/31, and I just wanted to point this out. It's like, you're not going to see this on the Weather Channel. They don't talk about the red rain anymore, or very, very little about it. And so the question is, what causes this type of an effect? And so I'd be curious to find out why they had the red rain there. But my theory is that it's iron oxide, but that's just me. I've kind of been staying away from ISS lately, but just recently things have been getting really bizarre, and there's been a lot of coverage on UFOs that have been appearing and disappearing on the ISS. Here's a photograph that I just received it's actually a photograph from today's ISS, but here are a couple of anomalies that we've noticed over the last couple of weeks. First one being this red orb here, and these we haven't seen before, these elongated dust clouds or other shapes. Here's that green planet, or at least we think it is, and then some other orb over here, and then this clearly is some type of a lens flare coming down right there. But ISS has been quite active lately, so keep an eye on it and send me anything you find. Here's a weird one from today. Got a couple of anomalies here. Now clearly this blue one down here could be some type of a lens flare, but it doesn't present as your normal lens flare with like a ring around it or anything like that. And we have been picking up a blue object that legitimately has shape. So I can't say for sure if that's the blue Kachina or not. But look at this strange like smoke ring type object over here first. I'll get to the obvious UFO up in the corner here in just a second. But this is kind of an interesting little anomaly. I wonder what that is. And then you go up and then clearly we caught some kind of a UFO in the sky. Just interesting stuff that we're seeing in the skies lately, I guess, Look at this young man down in Australia that is doing research in that region, and this is the WeatherCam Network time lapse, and I'll also put a link to his YouTube video below. But check this out. It corroborates again with the stuff that we were seeing before.
If you look closely, I can zoom in on this thing. Should loop back. Let's look at this.
Check it out.
Look as the light goes around, we can see the craters here, there.
So I'll leave this link below, but great video. Good job, man. Hey, here's a cool one that I just ran across when I was looking at email. But basically, if I zoom out here, you'll see it looks like one of those kind of possible blue lens flares. But it actually, if you zoom in on it, as you'll see here, really close, you start to see that it's actually up in the sky, right? And what's kind of interesting about it is it actually shows some of the halo effect around it as well. There's like the kind of the something going on around it. That's not a lens flare, guys. That's some kind of object up there. I don't know what it is, but it certainly does. It's interesting. Here's one of those interesting validations from a local newspaper called the Cagayan Valley Citizen. Uh, John Guay took this photo of the rainbow circling the sun on Tuesday, May 17th. The phenomenon stuck around for 2 hours. This is when we were seeing a lot of the rainbow and we were validating it together. And there it is. He's never seen a rainbow around the sun. Well, hey, we never have either, so good for you guys. Here's a little flash from today, from one of the addicted sports cams, and basically caught a little view of what I think is the blue Kachina. So zoom in a little bit. Yeah, not a lens flare because it's kind of foggy out there. So this kind of just came through the clouds. Very interesting. Thank you for sharing that one. Here's a nice UVIR photo. Here's your, sun flare, standard sun flare with the circle around it. Ignore that, please. But right here, we've actually been catching a couple people catching it at this 10 or 11 o'clock position lately. And we think that this might be that dwarf that people talk about, possibly, that keeps, kind of just staying close to the sun, I guess. Well, let's keep studying it and see what we find out. What makes this one crazy from Alaska, from Friday to Saturday, is this orb here. It actually has a secondary, let's call it halo of some sort, and that makes it extremely interesting to me. So I just wanted to point this one out to you, that this one has some interest. And again, they are obfuscating the sky so much that it would be realistic for us to see it at about that level. And the interesting thing about this thing is it seems to have dots in it, but I can't tell with this level of pixelation. Now this one today, this was from Hawaii. Now, I'm not even going to pay attention to the orb and what could possibly be sun flares around the sun. But what I do think is interesting is, as this lady is taking this picture from Hawaii today, something cuts that sun flare or that planetary object or whatever off. Like there's, see that? Interesting, huh? I'm just kind of time-lapsing it from the photographs, the series of photographs that she sent to me. Isn't that weird? Wow. Weird things in the skies.